There it is. There it is. Thank you so much for catching that, Larissa, because otherwise I would have been ruined. I prepared a whole video or a whole stream with a bunch of content, and all this time people just can't hear me. This is how I like to start my streams. See, I told you it happens to everyone. I told you. Okay, so we're gonna talk about why games suck. More specifically, why indie games suck. Now, you only hear you from your left side. What? How? How? I'm glad we're getting this figured out. So it's not a mono track. It's definitely a surround track. I don't know how to fix that. I have no idea how to fix that. Um, no idea. If other people are suffering from that, then I'll try and figure it out. But for right now, I have no idea how to fix it. Oh, everyone has the same. Okay. In that case, let me figure that out real quick. Probably just need to reload the driver. Let's have a look. Because if I downmix this to a mono, can someone tell me if that's better? I have no idea if that changes. Yes. Also, thank God for low latency. Am I right? You guys say something, I can see it almost instantly, and the other way around, you guys can hear me almost instantly. So that's really cool. Anyway, yeah. So today we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about why most indie games suck, and at the very least how to fix that, right, from a very constructive perspective, because that is the most important thing. Oh, your stream is fine. And then also we're going to grab some indie games, right, that have demos available. We're going to play through those. I'm going to list out what I really like, what I think could improve, and what I think doesn't really work. Kind of like from the perspective, okay, game design and AAA game development, let's try and, merge those together a little bit, and let's try and make sure that we get some good results, right? And that, most importantly, everyone that's watching, that they have a sense of, okay, I was afraid that my game might suck, but now I know how to avoid it, right? That's kind of the perspective I'm coming from here. So with that all out the way, allow me to change this and press that button, and I think... Yes, nice. Okay, very good. So, your indie game sucks. This is some of the most unconstructive feedback that I've ever heard, right? And I see it all the time, especially in some of the lower years of the education I used to be in. I see it all the time, and it's really unconstructive. And most of the time, what bothers me even more is that people, especially the developers, they don't know why, or they don't understand why, or they don't get the chance to understand why, right? They hear this feedback, and people might say, oh, it sucks because I don't like swords or something, right? And then as a developer, you're left wondering, yeah, but my game is in the medieval era. It's about medieval times. Should I replace my swords for something else? Should I make it just an archery game? When maybe that's not the problem at all, right? And so we're going to kind of like unpackage that feedback, and we're going to find a way to solve that. My name's Christopher, by the way, for those that don't know. Welcome to the channel. So, we're going to start with a few reasons, and we're going to end with the biggest reason as to why I think that indie games may suck. Hi to the person in chat, hi. So maybe you've been here yourself, right? I see it constantly, especially the frequent posts on Reddit, on Twitter, with people that say, I released my game, I had anywhere between 100 and 5,000 wish lists, which, by the way, really impressive either way. But now after 3 days, or after 1 day, or after 1 hour, the sales have stopped, or only my friends bought the game, and everything else, no one else has bought it, right? And that really sucks, because oftentimes those posts end with, I'm crying, or I'm sad, or I'm frustrated, or I'm never doing game development again, or anything like that. And I think that's a real shame, because I understand those people, and I've been there myself, but most importantly, people don't really understand why. And so most of the time, this has two reasons, right? Two reasons why this happens. Reason number one is poor marketing efforts. Now, I'm going to make a completely separate video on this, because marketing is a really complicated topic that I want to approach correctly, because most of the videos online, when you type in how to market your game, most of those videos, I think I've seen one or two that were somewhat close to getting it right. Most of those videos are really terrible, and there are developers Googling, how do I market my game, reading a bunch of articles and making a video about it, which is just not the way to go. So that's reason number one. Different video, we'll go into that a different time. The reason we're going to go into today is the game sucks. Now, again, like I said at the start, this is usually not the case, but there are some reasons as to how we can avoid it altogether. So, when we know those two reasons, we have to ask ourselves, okay, how come a game is bad? How does that happen? How does a game become bad? Or not fun, I guess is a better description. This has a couple of different reasons, right? And the very, very, very first reason for that is the game lacks a, between brackets, good concept, right? So, now, you might wonder, okay, so what is a good game concept? It doesn't exist. There is no good concepts. They don't exist. But this is a mistake I see quite a lot, and especially in indie dev, I see this a lot. Most games lack a good concept, right? So someone just thought to themselves, okay, I love local multiplayer games, right? I'm gonna make one. I am going to make one. I'm gonna go into detail in a second, but this is just a genre, right? This is just a genre, nothing else. Some other examples that I've heard is, what if you have a game where knights fight each other with rubber duckies, right? This is just a theme, right? A example I had recently was, I love Hitman 3. I'm gonna make a stealth game. I'm gonna make a stealth game. And this is just a copy. Now, as you can tell from what I put in between brackets behind every single one of them, it's just a genre, just a theme, just a copy, right? Or at the very least, at the last one, there is a very small chance that you actually manage to pivot enough that it doesn't become a copy, but most of the time it's a copy. And in all of the above cases, there is no actual game here, right? Just a genre, just a theme, or just a bad copy of a different game. And so I'm going to make another video. As you might know, this is a complete pivot from other content on this channel. I'm going to make another video about how to build up a good concept. But something we can do here is figure out, okay, what information are we missing in order to make this a concept, or maybe even a good concept, right? So when we look into that, and when we're trying to look for that essential information, we have to ask ourselves a couple of questions, right? Most importantly, the first question we have to ask ourselves is, how can the player win the game, right? How do they do that? Do they score points, and then once reaching the threshold, they win, right? Is that how they do that? Is that how they win the game? Or is it they kill all enemies in the level? Is that how they win the game? Or maybe it could even be they reach the end of the level. Right? That could be how to win the game. Right? There's plenty of games that do that. The Super Mario Brothers is the instant example that comes to mind, where that is the goal of the game. You need to ask yourself that question and then figure it out, right? Because without a win condition, you don't have a game, right? If I'm that's not entirely correct. There are games without a win condition, but most of the time, especially for most of the indie games that are being made, especially for people that have just started out or people that have been doing it for a few years now, they'll have a win condition, right? Something like a RimWorld or Factorio. Factorio has a win condition-ish, but also not at the same time. For people that have just started out doing it for a few years, they won't be making those types of games, I hope. And so they won't need to think about that edge case. So once you've answered that question, there's another question to answer, right? The next question you have to answer is, okay, what does the player do? Right? What did they do? And what I don't mean is they shoot zombies on this ice cream planet in order to, I don't know, do something crazy, right? They don't do that, even though that might be a cool theme, but that's not what they do. What I mean here, what actions are the player undertaking in order to win the game or in order to lose the game? If we take Super Mario Brothers as an example, in Super Mario Brothers, all you did was jump and run from left to right. I'm talking about the earlier Super Mario Brothers here, right? So definitely not Super Mario Galaxy or stuff like that. Um, Now, people will argue here and say, yeah, but wait a minute, you also kill Goombas and you collect coins and stars and whatever. And yes, you indeed do those things. However, they're not actions you take. There's not a button you press that helps you collect a star, right? Instead, what you do is you run from left to right, and during that action you are taking, your collision box is interacting with the collision box of the coin, and thus you collect coins, right? But it's because of you running from left to right, not any other reason, right? Equally, you are killing Goombas, or making them disappear, or whatever, because you are jumping in and landing on them, right? So it's through the action of jumping that you are killing the Goomba, not you're not just killing the Goomba, right? And so you have to figure out, okay, what do my players do? What are those actions, right? And most of the time, especially if you're making 2D or 3D platformers, keeping this limited. No, I'd even say with any game you make, keeping this limited, the amount of actions the player has to take, is always going to be a good thing, right? Having games where players can do almost anything, especially as a solo developer, you are in for a whole circus of problems, which you just don't want. So try and keep that limited and try to really define what is it the player does, right? Physically, mechanically, this is what they have direct influence over. Then, the next question, the last question you need to ask yourself in order to somewhat define your game concept a lot better is, what are my references, right? I'm talking about games. Movies can be references, but I'm just sticking to games for now. Like saying something like, my game is going to be like Call of Duty, isn't good enough. Right? This is not clear. Because let's dissect that. If we look at Call of Duty, you have or had single player, you have multiplayer, you've got zombies. Then if we take multiplayer, right? Inside of the multiplayer game mode of Call of Duty, you have Team Deathmatch, you have Hardpoint, you have Search and Destroy, Domination, Gun Game. Can I name any other ones? There's probably a few more, but no, that's the ones I can name so far. I haven't played Call of Duty in years. And all of those game modes are wildly different from each other, right? They're not like each other at all, right? In most cases, yeah, sure. Mechanically, again, what the player does is they shoot the gun and run around and jump and a few other things and slide and dash and whatever. But how to win those modes is entirely different. So when you say my game's going to be like Call of Duty, I have no idea what that means. All I know is that it's going to be a shooter, most likely a first-person shooter, right? So instead, how can you improve this? You can say, my game is going to be like Call of Duty Zombies, for example, with special enemies from Left 4 Dead included, right? Now, I would argue there is a lot more clarifying you can do in that statement, but this is already much better than the first one. Because what you're saying here is, okay, it's going to be a first-person shooter, round-based. The win condition is surviving for as long as possible. There's no clear win condition besides some of the Easter eggs that you might be able to do, because there's no real escaping from the map. I know that you have to collect points to buy perks in order to buy more weapons, etc., etc. And I know that every few rounds, maybe, or every so often, special enemies from Left 4 Dead that are stronger, faster, have a special ability, are going to come in to make it more difficult, right? They're going to cause the spike in difficulty. I know so much more about your game now than I did when you said it was just going to be like Call of Duty. So make sure to do this. Make sure that whatever reference games you're using, whether it's Stardew or Celeste or whatever, make sure that you really define which parts of the game you are going to include, right? So make sure to do that. And if you do that, you're actually going to make the chances of your game lacking a good concept a lot smaller, right? So that kind of brings me on to a certain thing, because if you start working on your game without this information, you are what's a good analogy here? Yeah, I know. You are trying to shoot a bow and arrow with your feet in the dark, hoping for a bullseye. Now, if you can do that, great. You are an amazing person. I want to meet you. But if you think to yourself, yeah, that sounds impossible, yeah, that's what you're doing without having this information present when you start working on your game. And don't worry, if you are already in your production stage and you're already quite far along with your game, you can still answer these questions, right? You can still do this in order to further define what your game is going to be or what it's supposed to be. So don't worry if you already started and you think like, oh, I got to start all over again. No, you don't have to. You can just answer these questions and already be well on your way of what you want. And then you can also use it as a testing point where you're like, okay, does my game actually do those things? I don't know, right? So, with that out of the way, a question for people that are watching live right now or people that are watching a video in a week or so. If you are afraid that your indie game might suck, and you want to avoid it like flopping on release or just flopping in general, feel free to put your link to your Steam page with a demo or to your itch.io page with a demo, and I'll play it here on stream. We'll go over like, okay, what is good, what is fun, and what can use improvement, right? And then we can also like discuss certain topics that I might not turn into full videos, right? So we can do that, and you can get one-on-one feedback just like that for your game, which I think could be really really useful in case you're scared of it might sucking. So if you want that, feel free to pop your link in chat. So on to reason number 2, right? Reason number 2, we're halfway. Reason number 2 of your game may be sucking is that you have not focused on early testing / prototyping. Oh man, this is a big one. What I see often here is that, and especially on Reddit, I see this a lot. There's people saying like, oh, I'm running into this design problem and I'm not trying to fix it. And then in the comment, someone will say, okay, let's play your game, let's figure it out. And then they'll say, oh, but I'm afraid of my concept being stolen, or I'm afraid of my game, someone copying it and then making it their own and then selling it for millions and millions of dollars and getting away with it. First things first, don't be afraid of that. People don't care about your game idea. People don't care about your concept. It is execution that matters, right? Without that execution, it's no one's going to care about your concept. More importantly, if I made a concept right now and divided between me and one of my friends who are arguably much stronger in game design and technical design than I am, we would both come out with a very different game. Not because one of us is better than the other, even though that is the case, more because the way you execute a concept, that is what is going to matter, right? So don't worry about people stealing your idea, because it's not going to happen. Back onto the script that I've got here. So I've fallen prey to this myself, right, over the years. I spent hundreds of hours on a concept, making something, then showing it to people, learning a lot of new things, by the way, then showing it to people, and then finding out that it sucked, that it wasn't fun, that people didn't like it, whatever, right? That sucks. That sucks a lot. Like, it really does, because you spent hundreds of hours pouring your soul and your heart into something that you thought was really, really great and really fun, and then other people aren't replicating that feeling. But what if I could tell you that, sounds like sort of a pyramid scheme, what if I could tell you that you could actually still learn all those new skills that you've learned in those hundreds of hours, but at the same time, by the time you get there, once you have spent those hundreds of hours, you don't find out that people don't think it's fun. Instead, people go like, yeah, this is really great because I was testing it when you only put 10 hours in, right? If you can get to that point, then you're going to end up not wasting as much time, and you're going to actually end up at a point where your game is fun and people actually like it and will buy it. So how do you actually do this, right? Because that would be a lot better if you could do that. The first thing you have to do is organize many check-in moments, right? Now, during these check-in moments, you could also call them playtests. That is obviously a much more common name for them. During these playtests, what you have to do at the very first moment in order to even get here, you need to define what the core of your game is, right? What are the most essential mechanics, right? The things that players do. Because once you figured it out, you need to build only that, just that, right? Don't add any art that you don't need to add. Don't add any music. Don't add any sound effects unless they're like placeholder things to signal things to players, but that's a different topic. Don't add any of that. because and the way that my teacher said it to me a few years ago, um, games that are fun when it's just a white sphere running around a scene trying to win the game or either losing, right? Um, those will be 10 times or 100 times more fun once the art and the music and the sound and the animations and whatever else are added on top, right? Games that aren't fun on their own when it's just white box levels and just like a little white sphere that's running around, they will not become more fun because you've added, I don't know, this ancient manner into it, and you've added all kinds of textures and materials and whatever, and special effects and whatever. Those games won't become fun all of a sudden, right? Imagine if you're making a horror game and you want to build that tension, and uh, um, you cannot do that with just your white box level. That means mechanically there's something wrong, right? Because if we take Alien Isolation as an example, that game was fun in just white box mode, right? The developers there, they very much said, okay, this game is fun, even though it doesn't look pretty at all, and there is no big scary monster running after me. It's just like a little AI sphere that's running after me. It is still fun, right? And then when you add that monster in there, and the abandoned spaceship, and the little VFX of the sparks flying, and like the blood decals on the windows and stuff like that, it becomes insanely more tense, right? And that's what you want to achieve. So define what the core of your game is, define what those most essential mechanics are, build only that, okay? Then once you have that, start with those playtests, right? And in order to test whether or not you're succeeding or whether people think it's fun, set up clear testing criteria, right? Criteria, like that. What I mean with this, and what I did in my own game, and we're going to go into that a little bit later on, what I did in my own game for this is I said, in the very, very, very first playtest, I said, do people feel pressured to reach the end, right? The answer was a complete yes from the playtest that I did, and so I knew, okay, that is one thing that I wanted to achieve with this game. I've achieved that. Let's keep building, right? If the answer would have been a resounding no, and I would have asked people, okay, but do you think you could be? Do you think there's something causing you to not feel pressured? Can I change that? And they would have said, no, there's nothing you can do. I just don't feel pressured. I don't think this can work. Then I know, okay, I've spent, I don't know, 12, 16 hours on this. I can scrap it and move on to the next idea on the list that is like 600 miles long because I've got way too many ideas. And I can just move on, right? I haven't spent too much time on one thing that makes me lose all that time all of a sudden. I've still learned new things, right? Because I set up a game that I've never set up before. But I'm now continuing on to something else that I think might be fun instead, right? So make sure to set up those clear testing criteria so that you can figure out if your concept, if your prototype is good enough to continue working on. Then additionally, also to kind of like grab an extra example here, I guess, something you could also say is like, I want my players to find the next resource themselves, right? If you're working on like a survival game or maybe like a factory type game, you could say as a testing criteria, okay, I want to see if my players can find the next resource themselves, if that step makes sense in their heads. If you can see people just struggling and they're just sticking with the first resource, you know that there's something that needs to change, right? You know they need to add something or remove something or something of the kind. But if people say like, oh yeah, no, I did see that resource, but I just thought I didn't need it, or I couldn't use it, or I didn't have the right technology for it, then you know, okay, this is where I need to start building something, okay? So do that, because it's going to help you find out what you want to do. Then once you've set up those testing criteria, test. If there was one advice I could give to any developer for their entire career, it'd be this, right? Test. You cannot expect your game to be good if you are not testing it with other people, right? Because at some point you become blind as a developer. You become blind to what is wrong with your game. You need to put it in front of other people, and those don't have to be game developers, preferably not. Preferably they're players that you're targeting, and they need to play it, because they will show you through their own actions, completely unaware of what you're trying to do, they will show you what is wrong with your game, right? I had this the other day where one of my playtesters was playing it, and they played a few of the earlier versions as well. and they were just not dashing, right? There was a nice little UI icon that showed when you could dash and when you couldn't dash, like when it was on cooldown, and they just weren't using it. Like at all, even for the sections of the level that required dashing, or at least, unless you wanted to make it really difficult for yourself, they required dashing. They just weren't doing it. They kept dying on the same piece over and over and over because they were like, oh no, I'll make this with jumping, right? They didn't say that, but they just weren't dashing. So at that point, I know, okay, something's not clear. I need to showcase to players. I need to make a scenario where they can only make it if they dash, and then give them some kind of prompt like, hey, dash here, or something of the kind. And that is, I only found out about that because I was testing, right? So please do that. Then, once you have had those many check-in moments, after every check-in moment, you have to ask yourself, this is going to sound a little gruesome, do I kill my baby? And I'll put behind brackets, project. I remember my teacher in the very first year, he said this in like week 2. I just started this education, and I was like, okay, this is a lot of fun, and I really love doing this, and the people around me are really great. And his teacher just goes like, okay, so we're gonna learn today about how to kill your babies. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And he very quickly, kind of explained what that is, so I'm going to do the same thing. What this means, like I said, your baby is your project, right? And what I see a lot with indie game devs, and what is a very, very apparent concern in the general game dev community, is that people treat every single concept like it's their baby, right? God forbid if I say something about it that you might not like, because that's your baby, and I'm calling it ugly, and you're like, it's not ugly, it's just my little special child, and like, don't do that. A very good rule of thumb, and I'm not exaggerating on these numbers, but a very good rule of thumb is that your first 20 concepts will suck. Simple as that. And this is why it's so incredibly important to playtest a lot and to move on quickly if you see that it's not working. Because imagine, like a lot of Reddit posts have shown over the past few weeks, working on your game for 3 years, learning everything from scratch because you weren't a game developer beforehand, and then finding out that it doesn't sell. Imagine doing that 20 times. We're talking 60 years. I can do quick math. We're talking 60 years worth of work that you would put in on each of your on your concepts, on your first 20 concepts, because you are unwilling to move on from a concept when you see it doesn't work. 60 years. That is a lifetime, right? If you acknowledge that your first 20 concepts are probably, most likely, definitely going to suck, and you can only spend, I don't know, 2 days on each concept right before moving on, we're talking 40 days. Right? I can't do the math between 60 years and 40 days and what the difference is, but you get the point. So please keep that in mind. If you see that your testing criteria aren't being met, right, don't try and make it work. Just say, okay, this currently doesn't do well enough. I need to move on to something else, right? Because maybe in a year from now, you're going to look back at that old concept that you scrapped because you decided to move on to something else, and you've in the meantime killed 6 or 7 more concepts. You're going to look back and be like, well, maybe if I do this and this, or if I apply these things I've learned from these other 6 concepts. Thanks for the follow, whoever that was. I can't see your name right now. I'll look at it in just a moment. Mr. Bacon X, thank you. You're appreciated. If you look back at the concept you're making back at the start of the year that you scrapped then because you decided, okay, I need to move on to something else, you might learn from those things that you can apply again to that very first concept, right? And then you might start in your 21st concept and be like, oh yeah, this might work. And then you test it and people are like, yeah, this is fun. And then you can start putting those hours in, right? Then you can start testing. And I'm gonna continue on that in just a moment. But I want to have a slight anecdote here. I think for me, in the past 6 years now that I've been developing games, both AAA and indie, I think on my own, concepts that only I worked on, there must have been 40 of them at least. 40. And I think in total, 37 of those were absolute trash, and I have scrapped. And I think 3 of those were kind of good enough to continue. But 2 out of those 3 I've scrapped by now, and they're dead for quite a while now. And the last one, the one that remains, is the one I'm currently working on. and after now 5 or 6 versions of that game, it is still looking very good. It is becoming more and more concrete. People are saying they like it, they're having fun, etc., etc. And so I think that for the very first time, this one concept out of the 40 that I've done might maybe become something that'll be fun to play. And that doesn't even mean it's going to sell, but at the very minimum, it'll be fun to play, right? So keep that in mind. Keep those numbers in mind, okay? It's okay to fail here. It's okay if those first 20 concepts suck. That is not a problem, okay? Because especially, and I'll end on this note for this reason. The strength of a good game developer, equals knowing when to stop putting time into something. This counts for both indie and AAA. Knowing when a feature needs to be scrapped or when a game needs to be scrapped is going to save you time, money, and a whole load of heartache and disappointment later on down the line. And it's going to make you just an infinitely better game developer than the next person, right? So keep that in mind. Then there's one more thing you should do in order to really focus on the early testing, early prototyping. You have to test the small parts of the game, right? Test the smaller parts of the game. And small is not meant in size here. Small is meant in the sense of these are things that people don't tend to pay attention to. Especially game developers. Players pay attention to this in a subconscious level, but developers tend to forget about these things. So let's say you've determined that your indie game is meeting all the testing criteria. Yay, woo, party time, right? Well, that is right. You should absolutely party in between those moments, right? Absolutely. But now you have to start spending a lot more time on the other parts of your game, right? You have to think, okay, how am I going to test these other parts, right? And which other parts do I need to test, right? Because the amount of times, I can't even begin to count the number of indie games that I've played where I'm like, this is a really cool game, a really cool concept, and then I'm forced to deal with a clunky camera or a bad movement set or even worse, a weird control scheme that's not explained properly. It just breaks that whole experience down into nothing, right? And that's a shame because you don't want that. If we pull a reference from Super Mario Brothers, which is just a great reference overall, when you play any of the Super Mario Brothers, right, from the very first one to the latest one, which is Odyssey, I think it's Odyssey, you're looking at a movement set. You're looking at a camera that has been tested thousands of times, right? I'm gonna write that down just for impact, right? Super Mario Brothers movement has been tested 1,000 times. Now, I don't know anyone personally at Nintendo, and if someone from Nintendo happens to be watching and you want to correct me, feel free to go ahead. But I can attest to this. The Super Mario Brothers movement has been tested 1,000 times, over and over and over and over. I need to finish my sentences. There we go. And so when you make your own game, I'm not saying you have to test it 1,000 times, but more than twice, I would definitely recommend, right? You have to make sure that, especially in those earlier prototypes, in those earlier tests you're doing, you have to make sure you get a really good feeling for what your players like in terms of movement or in terms of the camera, right? Especially if you're making a 3D platformer or a 2D platformer. If we take as reference Super Mario 3D World, I know I'm taking a lot of Mario references, but they're just really easy in this context. When you start moving to the left in the world, the camera, which is usually like this behind the player, doesn't instantly follow along, right? The player starts moving, and after about half a second, the camera slowly builds up in speed and kind of like matches the player again. It's this kind of like camera lag that causes me as a player to have a really good feeling of, oh, that feels nice and smooth. And I don't think about it, I don't think those words in my head, but subconsciously, that's what I'm noticing, right? If the camera moves instantly and like instantly stops, I know that feels jarring. That doesn't feel nice, right? Because my eyes aren't adjust to things instantly stopping or instantly moving again, because that's not how things move in real life, right? So make sure to think about those things. Additionally, as a different example, because I need to stop quoting Mario and everything, because they're definitely not perfect, but they are very good in some ways. If you're looking at like RTS games, the way the camera moves is sublime in some examples. Some games get it really wrong, but in some examples, Age of Empires, very, very good. And they thought about that. They tested that over and over and over in white box areas. People didn't really know what they were testing, especially the playtesters were like, what is this game? They could order some units around or some gray squares around, and that was it, right? But the way the camera moved is what they were looking for. And so they tested this and over and over and over again to come to a result that really allowed them to have something really smooth. Now, I'm going to give a slight tip here, and this is off script. You can figure out what these things are, especially for camera and for movement. You can figure out what these really nice, smooth feeling things are through another way besides testing, right? Because there is a lot of information on the internet nowadays. There's a lot of places where you can go, a lot of like Gamasutra articles or GDC videos that will tell you how to make movement feel nice and smooth, right? There's a wealth of resources around that, and you should absolutely look it up and make sure that you apply it to your own game, right? Try to find the smoothest way for your movement to feel and your camera to feel, because those two things is something the player will interact with constantly and should not be neglected. Yeah, that is that part. So I can hear the question already. Which parts should I focus on? Should I focus on? Very easy. I have a list here to the side of me. Movement, camera, controls. That is a very good one. Make sure your controls feel natural. I was playing Celeste the other day for the very first time. I loved it. Well, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. But the Xbox controller having to hold left trigger for climbing, I don't know why they made that choice. I'm sure there's a wealth of knowledge there that they made that choice. But personally, I thought it was a bad choice. I did not like it. I thought it was confusing, and I would much rather had right trigger in order to do that, because it feels a lot more natural. Especially when you've played a lot of FPS games, right trigger is something you use quite a bit. So yeah, make sure to look at controls. Then some other things, level design clarity. If we look at games like Left 4 Dead, for example, in all of their levels, they use lighting a lot to inform the player where they wanted to go, where they should go in order to complete the level. Usually there was like a little light near a door or like a light on a billboard. I think one of their examples is that there was this big billboard with like an arrow that was like glowing in like this like neon LED type lighting, and it was really like part of the level and it was really part of the environment, but that arrow points towards where you should go next. So players, they don't think of this as like, oh, I'm getting a clue where to go. No, they see that arrow, and instinctively, from like a natural perspective, their brain goes like, hey, that arrow is pointing at something. What's that pointing at? And off they run, right? You haven't belittled your player for not knowing where to go, and instead you guided them to where they needed to go, very subconsciously, and they've done it, right? So that's something you should really look into. Then on top of that, the last one is UI UX clarity. Now this goes for any type of game, regardless of genre or type. You need to make sure that the players understand what they're looking at, and you need to make sure that the players get the right cues, right? So when a certain ability recharges, give them a little sound cue. Give them a little UI cue, like a little wiggle of the icon or something that indicates to their brain, hey, this part of the screen is asking for attention. What is it about? Oh, my dash has recharged. Okay, I can use it again, right? This all happens in a split second, but make sure you take a look at that. Make sure you test that quite a bit, because games live and die by their UI and their UX. So make sure to take a look at that. Now, we're getting there. We're getting there. Last reason, the biggest one that I found where I'm like, oh man, this is probably why this project failed. And I'm gonna have a quick sip so I don't end up with a dry mouth. Because the amount of bad documentation I see is astounding to me. And so the last reason, one of the biggest reasons why your game might suck, is the complete lack of good documentation and documentation structure, right? To go into detail on this, in the past 6 years, I've been part of quite a few also like team projects, like indie team projects, and it is almost embarrassing to say that I have gone through multiple like 400-page game design documents and like multiple hours of devlogs in order to understand what the game was about. Now, specifically about devlogs, I will go into that in a different video because it's a bit complicated, because there's some good things about it but some bad things, so I don't really want to include that into this topic, but separate topic instead. But especially the game design documents, those 400 pages, they are never ever failed. The ones I've seen have never ever been failed with, okay, what are the mechanics of my game? What are the dynamics? What are the aesthetics? What is the core loop? What is the win condition? What's the lose condition? What are the feature specs for all of these different features? I have never seen that type of stuff in a game design document. The only things I've read in a game design document is my game is going to be about knights fighting each other with rubber duckies, and the game is about a knight called Barry who has a rubber ducky called James, and Barry uses James to punch Geraldine in the face, right? And then they get a point and then they win, right? And even that last bit is usually not part of it, because then they go into some backstory on Barry and James, where they met, how they were orphans, and how they grew up in the castle together and whatever, that kind of stuff. None of that will ever help you to make a good game. So please don't waste your time on that. Instead, I want to show you two pieces of documentation that I've used for my project, that I'm currently using for my projects, in order to develop something really nice. Or at least what so far through playtests has turned out to be quite nice. So first one is a, what did I call it again? Scrolling through my, yeah, okay, there it is. Level design document, right? This is very vague, but don't worry, I've got an example for you. A real example of what I'm using, like I was using this yesterday. Here we go. Right, so this is my World 1 level design matrix. This has all of the information that I need in order to build the levels in the first world of my game. For example, the first thing I have is level structure for new mechanics. When I introduce a new mechanic in a level, first section where that new mechanic is introduced, then I develop on that mechanic, right? There's another section. Then the third section is I twist how the mechanic can be used. So the player kind of goes like, oh, hey, this is a different application of the mechanic that I was just taught. And then I end with a conclusion on that mechanic, which is usually some kind of like skill challenge to really make sure that the player understands how the mechanic is used and how it's interacted with. Then on top of that, in my case, it's a 3D platformer. I have an entire matrix of things that I can use in my levels, right? So, for example, the phase platform has identification code 3. Right, now what does that mean? We'll get back to that in just a second. And then on top of that, on this first page, which is like a legend page, I also have identified, okay, how do I recognize level beats? I'm going to make this into a separate video as well. How do I recognize level beats inside my level so I know where the levels are too easy and where they're too hard when I'm designing them? Then I also have a world overview document, or a page, tab, whatever. I made this, by the way, in Google Sheets. It's free. It's really easy to use. I definitely recommend it if you're making levels like this. I've laid out, okay, how do I want to spread out my levels, and what do I want to teach in each of my levels? And then I've laid out, okay, for all of the different mechanics I have, how does that build up throughout the world, right? How does that challenge build up? So in this case, right, jumping is the only thing that you do in level 1.1. That level takes 1 minute, roughly, right? It's always an estimation. But I first make sure I teach jumping. Then in level 1.2, I have jumping, and I've introduced a new mechanic, moving platforms that go sideways, right? So I then show the player, okay, now that you've learned how to jump and how these different situations can affect you, here's a new situation in which you can apply your skill, right? Then in 1.3, I do the same thing, but it's a little harder, right? And then just like that, I keep going and I keep introducing new things. So in this one, there's vertical moving platforms. In this one, I introduce dashing, right? And I keep going and on and so forth until I come all the way towards the end of World 1. I've decided which mechanics I want to use, and as you can see, it gradually builds up towards a final challenge. So how does that translate into actual full-on level design? Because how have I made this document even more useful for my process, so that my game does not suck at the end, hopefully. Um, I have included a page for every single level that I've designed so far. Last night I made the decision to add 2 extra sections into each of my level sections, so they're not filled in yet. But in essence, because my levels exists out of 3x3 sets of tiles, I can identify really easily what those tiles are going to be. So we know that through the legend, we know that code 0 is a normal platform. We know that a hyphen is no platform. Right, so in this level we know, okay, we've got just normal platforms here, then these are going to be, there's no platforms there, so the player kind of has, oh, I'm going to have to move left here, right, and so they learn moving left and right. Then here we've got identification code C1. C1, let's see what it is, here it is a one gap jump. How is this different from just having no platforms and still just having like a one gap jump? When I do a one gap jump, I make sure there's platforms beneath it so that at the very first moment, the player learns how far they can jump without being in imminent danger, right? And then as we go on in this level, there's a few more moments where it gets a little more challenging. That's what the orange stands for. And, you know, the player has to jump twice, right? And then all the way at the end, there's going to be some kind of challenge where the player will have to jump over actual areas that are not covered by platforms below it, so they could fail there, right? They could lose. And that's how I've built up each of my levels. Now, let me first say this is, of course, a lot of information. I might make these documents into templates. If people in chat, if they say like, oh yeah, make some templates, I'd love to see. I'll do that. But also there's a lot of information here, so don't worry if you're like confused or whatever. Ask your questions in a second moment once we get to the Q&A part, and then we'll go through it. But yeah, this is how I make this document even more of value to me, right? It's not a 400-page level design document that shows each of the levels individually and whatever. No, it is a very concise Google Sheets document where I know exactly what each level does, how it's designed, and how it's paced out for the player, right? And I've done this for every single level up to level 5. I haven't started with level 6 yet, but, you know, they get more and more complex as you go along. So that is document number 1 that I use in order to bring value to my process, right? Then the second one is a feature change sheet. Now, what do I mean by that? Again, I've got an example for you because I came prepared today. There you go, like that. So what have I done here? I have taken every single variable that influences how the player interacts with the game, right? So not like the score, points being increased or decreased, stuff like that. Variables that actually influence how the player interacts with the game. I've collected them here, and through every single version, I have documented what the value of those variables was. Why have I done this? I'll get to that in just a moment. Because we can see here that for movement, moving a character on the vertical and horizontal axes, right? Easy feature. The walk speed, the max walk speed, was 600 in version 1, then 900 in version 1.1, then 850 in version 1.2, and so on and so forth. For a different example, for the jumping up and down, there is a coyote jump grace period. If you're making a platformer, look into coyote jumps. It's a very neat little feature to give your players an extra handhold when they're going through levels. We can see here that this feature didn't exist in the first few versions. It only came about in version 1.5, and so that's where I've then added a value. Now, why do I do this? I do this because this way, when I'm testing, when people say like, oh, like someone's testing version 1.6 and they're like, I don't know, the movement feels too slow, right? And I keep hearing this from more people. Then I can look back and I'm like, okay, so 850 is too slow. I've tried 900 before and people said it was too fast. Well, maybe for version 1.6, I should try 875, right? That is the thought process you're going to go through in order to further improve your game and make sure that people kind of come to terms with what it is and that they feel like it's a smooth experience. But this way it also stops you from trying things you've done before, because you can see what you've done before and you can change it based on that. Right? Maybe they think it's actually too slow because I have decreased the max acceleration. Right? These are two different test cases you can have and then test it with your players and then say, okay, how does this feel? And then once you get closer and closer to that, you'll get to a point where people will say, okay, yeah, this is good. For me, that happened in version 1.2 with 850, and so I've kept it as 850 through the next few versions. So these are two pieces of documentation that I use in order to help myself in this process and make sure that my game at least has less of a chance of sucking by the time I release it. So with that all coming to a conclusion, to me, in my opinion, there are 3 reasons why your indie game might suck. It either lacks a good concept, right? Which means your concept just doesn't have enough information defined. You have not focused enough on the early testing or the prototyping, which means you need to do many checking moments, set up clear testing criteria, and then just test, and know when to stop working on a project and when to continue. And then also just a complete lack of any useful documentation. If you avoid or if you work on these things for your project, whether it's already like almost done or you're just getting started, you are significantly reducing the chance that your game will flop by the end of it, right? So another thing that I was going to leave you with, when you are testing your own game, let's say you don't have the opportunity to test it with a lot of people. That happens. I've met people that really only have like a brother or a sister, or not even that, or just like one friend, or they only have themselves that they can test with. That's a shame, and I'm sorry that's the case, but when that happens, you need to think of it, okay, from a player's perspective, what is the number one thing that I personally hate in my reference games, right? In the games that I'm basing this off. If you think of it from that perspective, you're going to find moments in your game where you're like, wait a minute, my game is doing that thing that I always hate about the other games. And you'll be able to iterate based on that, right? It's not a foolproof way, but it's definitely a way to test a bit when you don't have a lot of people around you that can test. Also, in terms of how many people you should test with, try at the very minimum 5 different people to test your game, just to get a lot of different opinions. Also because, Super Mario Brother was tested with like thousands of times, and their testing groups tend to range between 30 and 100 per testing session. You don't have the budget for that, or the resources for that, so that's a good. But to try to test it with 5 different people, or just as many people as you can, to get the results that you're looking for, or at least to get results at the very minimum. So please make sure to think of these things when you are making your own game, because trust me, it's going to make sure that your game sucks less, and it's going to save you a lot of heartache in the long run, and it's going to make sure that that you don't end up failing, because that's the thing you want to avoid, right? So that concludes the video. For the people that are watching this as a video in a week from now, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, bell, all that stuff if you think I deserved it. And then beyond that, leave in the comments what you hate about games, about your reference games. And let's discuss those things. Let's figure out what's going on there, and let's find good solutions that you can use in your own game. For people that are watching the live stream, we're going to continue in a second with a Q&A section, and then we're going to play some of your demos, or demos that I've collected beforehand, and we're going to play through that and just kind of like go through the feedback process, and kind of let you guys can see what things I pay attention to when I'm playing games, also from a AAA perspective, and what kind of things that you might want to look at with your own game. Okay? So for people in the video, thank you for watching. Goodbye, and see you in the next one. For people watching in live stream, let's continue into the Q&A section. I'm going to press that button. There we go. And that kind of ends what I had written down so far anyway for this topic. I'd love to hear your questions, hear your problems. What are you struggling with your game? Let's talk about it. Also, Mr. Bacon X, rules of startup, 39 out of 40 stars will fail. Thanks for disclosing your filters. Yeah. So, in terms of numbers, for some people, it'll be that 100 concepts will fail before they get onto the right one. For other people, I've known a few people who are... I'm jealous of them. They are incredibly good game designers, and they only need 5 concepts in order to get one that works. I'm just saying the average is definitely way higher. Definitely around the 40 to 50 mark at the very minimum, and at the bare minimum, especially without an education or without any prior experience, you should think that your first 20 concepts will suck, and they will be not good enough in order to continue. Right? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. It's totally okay to learn through that way. It's just a shame if you then spent 3 years working on one that, you should have just scrapped at the start, right? So if anyone has questions, feel free to shout them out. In the meantime, I'm going to save this notepad so I can turn it into a blog post so people can read it later on. Why your game sucks. There we go. All right, lovely. Also, if people have their own demos that they want me to test, pop a link to your itch.io page or to your Steam page with a demo. I'll happily play it, and then we can, like, from a constructive perspective, because obviously this is a safe space. I'm not going to shout at you. I'm not going to completely shit on your game or anything like that. That's not the point. The point is that we play through it together, and that we can together figure out how to make it better, right? That's at the end of the day, this is a space for succeeding. That is the most important thing. God. Also, Mr. Bacon X, thanks again for following. In the middle of a video, it's hard to work that in. Okay, let's put that away and put that away, and then in the meantime, I'm gonna find a game that I had in this list, which we can also test, which we can also review together. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, which one am I gonna pick up here? Gotta remember some of these. I put some of this list together weeks ago. Let's go back to Reddit and let's find out what is there. Also, hi Asa22N. Thanks for joining in. Let's have a look in my. It'll be in my saved one. It probably will be. Reddit's UI is sometimes very confusing to use. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I just look over here, and then the next time it's somewhere else. Okay, where was this? Where was this concept that I saw? Where I was like, oh yeah, we gotta work through this. Also, how's everyone doing today? Yeah, great joke. Yeah. So okay, so a little bit of a motivational speech. And that's kind of why I made the video in the first place, or why I just did the whole scripting in the first place. I oftentimes see that, like, on Steam reviews and stuff, or like on Twitter, where people are just burning on this game. They're like, the game sucks and it's not fun, and like, you know, using all kinds of swear words that I'm not trying to use because algorithms are not so very nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you found it funny, but yeah, the last thing I want is for people to quit. Game development is such a nice space to be in, especially with like the really supportive people that are in here. And yeah, I hope that I can stop people from wasting too much time on things that won't work. But yeah, very very funny. Good old Troy McClure. Where's this thing? I'm just trying to pick one of the many posts I've seen where I was like, oh yeah, this looks great. Let's play this. Let's see, because they're all indie games. Because I'm not going to play AAA games, even though AAA games have a lot to learn as well. Oh, what's this? Somebody want to play my game? I saved this for a reason. It's a very simple and relaxing puzzle game oriented around the idea of emotions. The game is not even remotely close to being finished. That's good. That's fine. And it's not very playable. But I just want to know if I should continue development. Oh, this is an excellent post. This is really good. This is literally what I just talked about. Okay, great. I wish I had planned this, but I'm not that smart. Download the game here if you're interested. Game Jolt. Okay, alright, nice. Let's go. Is this still up for download? Yeah, it is. Hey. Oh, don't play that. That is copyrighted content. Please don't do that. Okay. Alright, it's called Archipelago. Okay. Okay, I'm looking forward to this. If people in chat have their own game that they want me to test, feel free to go ahead. We'll do it together. Okay, Archipelago is downloaded. Now, I understand the risk of downloading something off the internet, but I'm just not too cool. Is that how you say that? All right, let's unpack this into somewhere where I want to unpack it. Where am I gonna place this? Where am I gonna play this? Too cool for security, yeah. I've got like, oh yeah, you can't see it on the current screen, but I've got like 4 or 5 security programs installed. Just because whenever you download anything from Game Jolt, man, there's some fishy stuff in there. That mistake happened to me once before. I'm not doing that again. No way. Yeah, sure. We'll put it in this folder. No, now it's in pictures. That's not where I wanted it to go. I know how to do anything. Archipelago. There we go. Okay. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this game. Oh, great tip for anyone putting out demos. Make sure that if you have a splash screen that plays music or anything of the kind, make sure that the sound doesn't blast my ears out. There's many people that get this wrong, and that just it just makes me want to close down the game instantly. There's also big companies that get this wrong. I'm looking at Valve for that one with their splash screen. But yeah, okay. Is there any more information about this game, or is it just no? It's just okay. I just need to figure it out on my own. No instructions on controls or anything, so we're gonna see how that turns out. Where is the folder that I'm looking for? There it is. Okay. Oh, it's an Unreal game. Okay, I'm instantly a fan. Oh yeah, no, it's good. All right, let me. Yeah, Valve and the weird bald guy. Oh, okay. Whoa. Hey, whoa. Okay. Okay. I need to change my screen so you guys can't see this. That'd be a shame. Okay, so I have spawned. Okay, scroll wheel does that. Is there a pause menu? There is. Okay. Oh, and there's just a mute or unmute thing. Okay, you guys are gonna have to tell me if this is too loud, if the game music is too loud or not. Okay? Because I have no idea. Okay, so using middle mouse button. Oh, it's inverted. If I move my mouse up, the camera tilts up. If I move my mouse down, it moves down. Yeah, this looks very pretty, doesn't it? It looks very, very pretty. I don't know if I like that. I would have liked inverse controls, right? So that when I move my mouse up, it goes, the camera goes down, right? Like the camera moves the way that my mouse is going, which it's not doing right now. Also, I am going to slightly turn it down for myself because I can barely hear myself speak. Oh, yeah, there we go. Is that... Okay, there we go. If I tab out, the music stops entirely. Okay, I have no idea what to do. Let's see what it says. Disgust. Okay, ooh. That was kind of cool. Okay, I like that. Also, I like the cell shading I went on there. Level 1, 0 meters to 500 meters. Okay, so I need to make some Oh, I can play stuff. Oh, hold on. Unlockables. I haven't unlocked these things yet. Oh, do I have to guide water somewhere, maybe? Is that what I have to do? Can I... Oh, I can rotate it with R. Okay. What is the goal here? What do I need to do? Oh, whoa. What just happened? Whoa. I'm not sure if it's meant for phones. I don't think so. Oh, the goal is here. Right, there's a little UI icon here. Oh, the controls are a little clunky wonky. Oh, I don't think I'm doing this right, but... Oh, yeah, no, that kind of works. Oh, and I can also I can place them on top of each other. Go. Oh. I am unsure of what it is I'm supposed to be doing here. There seems to be something up here. Please. The goal is eluding me. Also, there's a timer that's counting down. I don't like that. Stresses me out. So there's like these lines on the side as well, like these visual like little white lines. Ghost off, ghost on. Is that the building ghost? No, it doesn't seem to be it. There's something I can paint. Oh. What have I done? Whoa. Undiscovered. Base emotion. Common. What? Oh. This is like a... It's like a world map. Ah, okay. Anger. Sadness. Oh, this is really hard to see, but okay.
Heavy hearts, like heavy clouds in the sky, are best relieved by the letting of a little water.
Okay. I mean, I am intrigued.
Heavy hearts, like
Game
heavy
over, okay.
clouds in the sky, are best
One of the balls
relieved
failed
by
to
the
reach a
letting
home
of
or
little
destination. Okay, so there's a ball that needs to reach a home or a destination. Can I restart? Okay. So as you saw there, there's quite a bit of... how do I say it? Quite a bit of... it's quite a bit wrong with the UI UX in this game, right? There's not quite clear what I'm supposed to be pressing or what I'm supposed to be doing. A lot of my UI seems to have disappeared, by the way. Excellent, excellent. Because now I can't really click it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna close the game, and I'm gonna reopen it again. We'll give it another shot because I am fair like that. Yeah, so the tower must be where the ball comes out, but where do you bring it? Not only that, oh, there's a little bee. Look at that, little bee. Oh, oh, I can choose where I begin? Oh, is it the bee, maybe? Is it the bee that needs to go home? Like, to the tower? If I begin here? Oh, now it's sadness instead of disgust. Now... Yes, that turns into a corner. Okay. And then there. And then I click go. Go again. Oh, you must place at least 3 blocks before continuing. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and place them, I don't know, here, I guess. And then, again. Oh, wait, but the tower grows with it. Huh? I am very confused. So I guess, to get to the feedback part of this this section, allow me to open up a little notepad. So the feedback here, some of the more obvious points, UI, UX is confusing to the point where you don't know what to do. Goal of the game is unclear from the start. And then later on we learn that a ball needs to go. Yeah, I know. But this is the thing, right? Where good tutorials, they help you understand these things from the start, right? And good tutorials don't have to be like walls of text. They can be very different things. Later on we learn that the ball needs to go from start point to central tower, maybe? That's kind of the assumption we're making. Don't see a ball anywhere. That is kind of something interesting. And I'm just thinking, right, if we do the paint thing, that doesn't seem to do anything, okay? 5 balls. Yeah, I don't know where the balls are supposed to come from. That's what I don't understand. Like, if I just, I don't know, if I just do this, right, to place those 3 blocks again so I can go again. Oh, oops, there we go, 3. Like, it's this little home icon in the corner there. Oh, what the hell? Choose a memory. A breakup, a lover moves on, family animal passes. A breakup? Oh, there's a ball. What? Look at the book. Oh. Wait. What? It's just gonna keep doing the same thing. Okay, let's go like that. Okay? And then we'll just... Oh, what? That didn't... Oh, it's like a pushy thing. Whoa. What happens if... Okay, so this is pushed in a second. Yep, there it goes. Then it's pushed again. And then it stays there. And it's pushed again. So where does it need to go? Can I destroy things? Oops. Oh, well, this is annoying. Wait, what the hell? Uh, so, okay, so this is, yeah, it's very confusing, right? Also for me, it's very, very confusing. They're all just down there, having a great time. Um, oh my god. Okay, interesting. Interesting this is a thing. Um, yeah, off it goes. Goodbye, ball. Oh, you come back again. Yeah, okay, so I don't know what I did to get there. God, how do I even describe the problem here? Very little onboarding in general. Very little onboarding. Confusing how to come to the end goal and what it is. What it is, okay? So that's kind of like the things you're noticing now, because what I'm doing, I'm playing it from a gamer's perspective, but at the same time, you know, I still obviously have the game dev perspective that still exists. Oh wait, I think I know how to solve it. Hold on, wait. If this works, this game has one of the. Oh, never mind, it won't work anymore. Because look, that's not gonna get ruined. Yeah, it is. So. Like so. There we go. Just keep doing that. Oh, game over. Okay. Okay. I thought I could fix it, but I couldn't. So, yeah. So this is one of those things where you can see, okay, this game looks really good, and it seems interesting. I want it to work, and I want to figure out how to actually do things, but the game is not giving me any clue on what it is I actually have to do, right? So think of this when you're making your own game, that you look at these things and you make sure that this is explained. Again, doesn't have to be big walls of text, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. I'll make a different video about it, but yeah, that was this game. Because I'm a little stubborn, I'm going to try it one more time, right? One more time. I'm going to try it. This time we'll do it. This time we'll make it, right? It is certainly addicting, that's for sure. It's not very relaxing, but it is very addicting. Oh, there's a blue tower now. God damn it. I do like the bee. The bee is nice. The bee is very nice. Now where do I begin? 7 levels to go. Okay, I'll just begin here, right? Anger. Okay. So I do that, and then I say go. Oh, there's a little rock here. Little thingy there. Can I interact with that? No. I'm gonna presume I need to take it there. So I'm gonna say okay. Oh no. Really? Oh no. Shit. Hold on, I'll do it like that. And then like that. Nope, that still doesn't work. Have I ruined it from the start now? You betcha. Oh, here we go. See, that does something. I don't know what it does, but it does something. Oh, wait. I figured it out. Hold on. Look, see how it says 2 levels to go? Oh, that said something. Oh. Hey, thanks for the raid, Tsuchi Dev. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Whoa, what's that thing in the back there? What is that? Thanks so much for the raid, dude. I really appreciate it. It's really, really appreciated. So now, I believe, I just have to do the thing. There you go. I don't think that's home anymore, but we'll just do that. You haven't completed the structure yet. I don't know how I'm supposed to complete the structure. Oh, this isn't mine. I'm not working on this. I'm providing feedback on this concept from someone that was asking feedback on Reddit. And it's been a very interesting process because the game looks really pretty, definitely. And it's very interesting, especially the vine growth is kind of nice. But we're missing a lot of the onboarding, right? And I just did a whole video live about, you know, where you win a game when you understand it's a meta game. Nice, good job. No, but I just did a whole video on like 3 biggest reasons why I think indie games kind of like can suck sometimes, and how to avoid it, how to fix it. And I figured, okay, why not put that knowledge to use on this, right? So if you have a thing you'd like me to look at and kind of like provide feedback on, but also see what like was really great about it, feel free to send me a link and I'll happily play it. So I haven't completed the structure yet. What does that mean? Do I have to like? Oh, here we go. Yeah, choose a memory. A negative attitude. Let's see what that does. So I believe, yeah. So look, now the anger ball gets pushed, and that's it. I don't know what the end point is. I think it's down there. Oh look, there's 2 balls now. Oh no. But it's definitely interesting. And so that's kind of like how we go through these things. Okay, anyway, that's the end of this game. There we go. Okay, Archipelago, that was by, let me see who it is. By you annual secretary 548. They posted on r/playmygame. Yeah. I'll make sure to post some of the feedback that I wrote down later on. So I'll save this as as Archipelago. There we go. And I'll post it in here so that I know where I saved it. Very cool. Okay, next game. Also, if any of the viewers have again the like me to test, feel free to let me know. Let's have a look. What else did I save? Oh no. Oh, this is gonna be the death of me. Oh, actually, I see a much more, something that looks a lot more fun. There was this technical MMORPG, time traveling MMORPG alpha. Oh, I should probably just do it, shouldn't I? Oh Christ, where do I download it? Does it say? Does it say where I download it? Oh, join Discord. Nah, I'm alright. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one. Big tip: if anyone wants other people to play their game and you're asking online, don't ask me to join your Discord. I won't. I don't want to. Unless your game looks so significantly incredible that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of this. I will not join your Discord. I'm sorry. And that's not just me. That's anyone in general. I just want to be able to play the game, provide the feedback, and then move on. Right? Did this have a download link? Nope. No download link. Okay. Move on to the next thing. Where was the thing? Because I wrote down Monster Tribe demo. Oh, I found that on YouTube. Oh, I remember who that's from. Yeah, so I think it's their public Discord server, and they're like trying to do it to build a community. I feel like I've said this sentence like 600 times today already, but to no fault of you guys, by the way. I'm just me repeating the same thing. I'm going to make a different video about it. People think that the best way to build a community for your game is through Discord or through Twitter or stuff like that, and there is so much wrong with that I can't even begin to talk about it. But it's not, especially not if you're still like in that prototyping alpha, phase. It's gonna take a lot for someone to join your game's Discord. Also because you will not have enough content updates on the daily or on the weekly to really justify that either, right? So really only like build up that Discord community when you're working on an MMORPG. But then again, when you're working on an MMORPG, there's other things wrong that I will get in a different video. So, but anyway, Monster Tribe demo. Now I know who this is from. Where is it? It's from this Mr.
In this day and age, it seems like...
Please don't play that. Please don't play that. Thank you. Last thing I want is to be hit by a copyright claim. Okay, which one was it? Where is it? Yeah, forums are great.
Brilliant.
Nope, also don't make a brilliant ad, please. That is, yeah, okay. Huh, I feel like there was a download link for Monster Tribe. I feel like there was. Is it wishlisted on Steam? Or is it on Steam a demo? Yeah, there it is. See, I knew it. I'm clever like that. Now I'm just gonna make sure my Steam doesn't open up on stream. Hey, which it will, because of course it will. How can I say my awful game from a few years ago? If you upload it to GameJolt or to itch.io or anywhere where I can download it from a verified source, I'm all good. I'm all good. I'll be playing for probably another hour or so, and so I can like review your game at that point. I'll also set up like a more official system later on, if you really like that. So, by all means. I've only been learning from YouTube for a while, so I don't have anything proper for a critique, but would definitely be great to hear from someone who knows what he's doing. I appreciate the compliment. I'm gonna say that I also have a ton to learn. A bunch of my friends who are working for AAA companies at the moment are much better designers than I am, and they will call me out on my shit if I say something that they disagree with. But that is kind of the magic of it, right? It's learning together, and you know, everyone's succeeding, right? That's kind of the idea here. So I appreciate the compliment quite a bit. Yeah, judging is also great. Judging is also really great. Okay, let's download. Oh, it's a 1.2 gigabyte demo. Okay. Okay, this better be good for 1.2 gigabytes. Another tip, when you're distributing demos, and this isn't always possible, but when you're doing that, please make sure it's somewhat condensed in terms of size. It's not always possible, but when it's like a 2D... Hey, thanks for the follow, whoever that was. TsuchiDev, thank you very much for the follow. Whenever you're like, I don't know, distributing the demo of a pixel art game or like a 2D pixel art game, please don't make it like 2 gigabytes large. You know, think of that. I know that Unity and Unreal both have tools in their packaging process which allows you to kind of like cut the waste, so to say. So please feel free to do that. Hey, Asa, thanks. Super thanks for the follow. We're going to look at Monster Tribe. Now this is from a bigger YouTuber. Oh, that's a little loud. Is there any controls? No. Okay, I'm going to slightly turn my volume down. Okay, very cool. Yeah, this is from a bigger YouTuber named Reese Geoffroy. I hope that I said that correctly. I've seen this game come by a few times. I'm very curious to try it. It looks very polished. I'm just wondering if this is one of those cases where... yeah, I did, yeah. Don't ask me about that. Don't ask me about that. Yeah, this is one of those games where it looks really polished, but so did the other one, the previous one just now, and so I'm hoping that it holds up. So, because I'm not a complete asshole, controls are WASD movement, shift to run, P to accept or interact, O to cancel or use the tool, Q to cycle the tool, and E to cycle equipment and escape is pause. Okay, let's grab the notepad real quick, because I think that's important. Now we are playing a demo, but explaining all controls beforehand, it's okay, right? It's okay for your demo, but only for your demo. If you have to have a section in your game that says, oh, these controls do these things, you are tutorializing and you are onboarding players, and that's great, but you're kind of missing the finesse of it, right? You should teach players things naturally, right? Without having a section or without having a screen for it. And again, Super Mario, the bastards did it. In the very first level, let's see if I can find that picture real quick. Super Mario level boots. This is a pretty well used picture. Oh no, okay, I gotta go to LinkedIn to the one my teacher posted the other day. He's not my teacher anymore because I've graduated, but I'll never forget him because he's excellent. Excellent guy. Can I do this? There we go. Oh, can I click it? Yeah, okay. Where is it? He made a video about it, or a picture about it. Anyway. Essentially, when you look at the very first Super Mario game, they have a section where nothing's happening, then they have a challenge section, right? They marked it in red, where you have like the first Goomba and like the first like mystery block. Then it's a section where there's no danger, right? Marked in green. Then there's a section with, danger, but another Goomba. And then there's a section with the flag. And that's kind of how they mark the different sections, but that's also how they teach you mechanics, right? They start with something very simple, and they build it up as they go along. Again, you should do the same for controls. Explaining controls should be done naturally. throughout interaction with mechanics. Okay. Right, so, with that out of the way, let's play Monster Tribe. Start game. Start game? Wait, can I not play start... Can I not press start game? I can't press anything. Okay. For fear of having caused that myself, let me restart the game. Anyway. Oh yeah, good point. Oh, you made... Oh yeah, okay, nice one. Nice one. Okay, so, it's notepad time. Oh man. No, it's not notepad time. Yeah, I've already said it. Please, 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 please make sure that people understand what they have to do. Very good that you said, you try the keys. Very good. Okay. Oh, it's not enter. It's not start game. P? It's P. Okay. Okay, I mean, this looks nice. Is that a text bubble? I think it's a text bubble. Rise and shine, sleepyhead. Come stop by my new luxury home with the big orange roof just southeast of here. I know how you can get with your directions. Okay, getting shit on instantly. Oh, there's like a little torch. Oh, there's something else here. Basic Actions Volume 1. As you've likely noticed, pop-ups will appear when you get close to an object you can interact with. Yep. Use P to speak to people, open chests, and otherwise interact with objects in common ways. Okay, we just talked about this. For demos, this is fine. For in the future, I wouldn't recommend this. Just have a little pop-up that just says P. People will go like, oh, what happens if I press P? Same way that you can teach people things. Interesting, certain objects can only be interacted with if you have a specific tool equipped, so try equipping different tools around areas where they might be used. Okay, I don't know anything about tools, but sure. When these special pop-ups come up, press O to use your equipped tool. Now, this poses an interesting question. Why is there 2 buttons for interaction? Because there's P for interaction and there's O for interaction. And O is only used for your special tools, and P is for other interactions. Teal there already moved on to places go. Nice one. Yeah, no, so this is what I've said, right? Keep this natural. Stop me from reading a whole bunch of text, and just allow me to learn without needing to read the text, okay? Oh, there's a little hand. Hey, I got stuff. I got 2 stone and something else. Is there an inventory? Something? Nope, no inventory. At least not the usual buttons anyway. Okay. Okay, this looks pretty. Can I zoom out? No, I can't zoom out. Okay, it's a shame. I feel like I'm too close. Oh, I picked up those berries. Okay. Oh wait, didn't it say southeast? Orange roof? Southeast, so that is this way. South... Oh, big orange roof. Here we go. Oh, I got stuck behind a bush. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, there's a person here. Let's talk. Hey, yep, that's right. I'm the blacksmith in town. You needed me for something? You're looking to enter the lab, huh? Okay, apparently I am. A minimap would be nice. Or just a general, like one of those floating arrows that are like in the screen, like at the corner of the screen, that are kind of like show me where my objective is. Again, it is a demo, but it feels like a pretty intense demo. So I feel like if that would have been a feature, it should have been in already. You're looking to get into the lab, huh? I am. That thing's been shut for years. Kind of forgot it was still there, to be honest. Okay, I'll let you have one of these here. Wait, I'll let you have one of these here pickaxes then. If it's such a public demo, please read your texts 300 times. Complete the quest. It's notepad time. When giving quests to the player, make sure to really explicitly mark when the player starts their quest and when they end it. Now, yeah, quest done already. Yeah, they've marked when I've finished the quest. I had no idea I was doing a quest. Okay, so I finished the quest. Should be easy enough to break through that little rock slab in front of the lab with it. Just press O in front of a rock to use it. Okay, something else. This is quite specific to that game. To this game. He just said, or he was talking as a character like the blacksmith or whatever, and then the blacksmith in the same text bubble, breaks the fourth wall, fourth wall and talks to me in mechanical terms. This is more feedback just on general narrative writing. Don't do that. When a character is speaking, like imagine you're watching a movie and they say, oh, and then Gorn from up in Ice Ridge said this and this about you. And then that character looks at the movie screen, like looks to you as a viewer of the movie, and she goes like, oh, Gorn is the guy that did this and this, like back in the first part or whatever. That'd be so weird. You'd be like, whoa, don't tell me that. I was going to figure that out on my own. And besides figuring out on your own, stop breaking the fourth wall. I'm watching you do a performance. Please don't interact with me, right? Deadpool does that, but Deadpool does that consistently throughout the whole movie. Which means that, I mean, it's still a question of whether or not you like that kind of movie, but if you do, then it's okay because that is like one of the main aesthetics of the movie, and that's, you know, they went for it. It was intentional. This was not intentional. This was just not separated out properly. Anyway, a little pickaxe icon should pop up to tell you what you can mine. Again, this is exactly what I'm talking about. He's breaking the fourth wall. Let me know if it turns out alright for you, because then we switch back again to blacksmith guy, and if you need any more tools down the road, I'm your guy. Well, good luck. Okay, apparently he's not my guy. Or he is. Oh, okay, slight bug here. The bubble thing stays. Okay. So this is a rock. Can I use it? I cannot. Okay. Did they tell me where the lab was? I feel like they haven't. Rivers connect many different spots all around the island. If we can repair the different docks that have broken down, we could take boats to all corners of the island very quickly. Okay, fast travel. Good to know. What's the sign say? South, the clearing. Okay. A strange powerful energy forbids you from passing through it. Okay, fair enough. That is a good way to kind of gate the player. That's okay. But there's a lab somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. What looks like a lab. Let's grab these berries. I feel like I'll need them. Anyway, I collect everything anyway. Oh, hello. What's this? Who are you? Hi, how are you doing? Browse the bookshelf if you have some time. You might find some good info in there. Oh no, don't tell me this isn't... yeah. I'm not opposed to these sections. Minecraft added this at some point in their game, where they had like the crafting book, so you knew what to craft and how to craft it. Definitely a good thing to include when you're trying to onboard players. The axe is designed with a sharp-bladed axe for cutting deep into the thick trunk of trees. Thick trunks of trees. I'm not a grammar expert. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe it's right. I don't know. Okay, so axes are used for cutting down trees. Who would have guessed? Fish have been a staple food source for the people of Akama for as long as there have been people on Akama. Okay, again, I'm not a grammar expert, but yeah. Okay, apparently this is Akama, by the way. I'm gonna make that assumption right now. There are 3 main types of berries on Akama. Ranberries are the most common, and they can be found in most forested areas. Okay. Tools William the Pickaxe is a powerful tool used to help people dig through the hardest materials known to man. Okay. They've been indispensable for miners for generations, allowing us to carve out tunnels and pull valuable resources and minerals from the earth. Okay. Variations on the basic design have been made for mining every known ore and stone on the island. Okay. Okay, I don't know why I went in here. What's this guy doing behind a tree? Hello. Hey, how you doing? I've been spending my day admiring nature. Did you know about the different types of trees around here? Okay, it is notepad time. This is all focused on narrative design because I feel like there's a lot going on here. Too much exposition in at the start of a game. At the start of the game, otherwise known as a lore dump. Lore dump can put off many players. Now, I'm trying to really give feedback on the mechanics here, because I'm not necessarily great at narrative design. But this is what's... Oh, hey, hey, look at that. There's a lab here. Would you look at that? Did we come past here when we started again? Does anyone know? What do you think about all high caps versus normal text? It depends. I think it's more a question of which font are you using. Definitely didn't. Okay, cool. I am trying to be fair, right? I'm not trying to shit on the game. I'm literally just trying to give like the best feedback I can. So I do like ask questions like, "Hey, did we see this or not?" Yeah, high caps versus normal text really depends on your font. And please, for the love of God, and I think this game is kind of guilty of it as well. Okay. This font is okay. It is readable. The space between sentences should have been larger, but it's okay. It's readable. But I've played plenty of games that use a pixel art font or a different kind of font, and it's just not readable at all. So don't do that. Try to stick to some of the more known fonts, and if you're going for a pixel art font, there's standards in that as well. It really stinks how the lab is totally blocked by this huge boulder. If only someone with some experience using tools could break this thing down. Now this is really great, and this is what should have been here instead of the blacksmith, because I'm having a conversation with someone that's standing here in the middle of nowhere. I can skip it if I wanted to, but I'm having a conversation with this guy, and he's telling me about a problem. As this guy, I don't know this guy's name, but he's saying, as a citizen of Akama, oh man, I wish someone would break that boulder down. And I would think to myself, oh, I just picked up a pickaxe from the blacksmith. I'm gonna go break that boulder down. Right? That is what you want. This is what you want. They are bouncing very fast. They're just having a great old time. Oh, shit. I'm still talking. Okay. Anyway, press O on it. I'm pressing O. That doesn't work. P doesn't work. How do I change tools again? What did it say? Q? No. E? Oh, here we go. E. Okay. There we go. Oh, do it again? Okay. I need to keep going. Collecting stone, though. Oh, there we go. Off it goes. Okay. Do I enter? I guess so. Whoa! Hello. Do I talk to you? I presume so. Whoa. Party or DNA? Oh god. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to pick. I've got no idea. So would you go with party? Actions, fusion, swap. What the fuck? There's different DNA types. So, okay, so I know, because I did some research beforehand. I just read the Steam store page. I know this is like a monster taming, kind of like Pokemon type of thing, right? Yeah, it does look nice, right? It definitely does look nice. Like in terms of pixel art style, I think it's pretty good. I quite like it. But just in general, there was so much information just dumped on me. I have no idea what to do with it, right? So, but I know for a fact, I know that these 4 squares are supposed to be like my 4 monsters that I tame and use in battles, right? Fair enough. Also, pressing escape takes me out of... Ooh, thanks for the follow, whoever that was. Thank you very much. Pedris, or Pedrolus. Thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate it. Yeah, also pressing escape takes me out of the entire menu flow. It doesn't make me go back one menu. No, I have to repress P, go to party again, and then do whatever I was doing, right? So now, if I go to DNA 001, I need some kind of like blueberry, I need 5 stone, and I need 5 red berries. Oh, and I can only do DNA 1. Okay. So I'm going to leave again and find the blueberry. Wait, where's the green glow coming from this guy now? Or is that just... You actually did it. I wonder what's been hiding in there so long. Maybe I'll wait for you to check it out first. Oh, please don't tell me. Wait, hold on. This is a chart depicting different elements and classes of... the different elements and classes of Ataion sometimes are advantageous against others, either offensively or defensively. Okay. Green shows extra effectiveness and red denotes less effective. Okay. Learning and using these effectiveness charts is crucial for mastering Ataion battles. Okay, I'm going to presume here that the monsters are called Ataion. Right? I'm going to presume that's the case. I don't know, but I'm presuming that's the case. The large crystal totems spread throughout the land were made for the purpose of storing manipulating DNA from Ataion, whose spirits have clung to you. Okay, these machines are capable of materializing an Ataion spirit, changing its known actions, switching which Ataion form your team, and even using the power of fusion to change the type and appearance of the Ataion. D. Dot. 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 Another little bug here. It's okay. It happens. Nothing is ever bug-free. Ataion are powerful creatures with incredible spiritual energies. They will frequently battle each other in spirit form, hurling all kinds of elemental and class-based attacks at each other. Again, even though the game is talking to me like, hey player, you need to know this information, they will frequently battle each other in spirit form, hurling all kinds of elemental and class-based attacks at each other. Elemental is themed, right? Because at the end of the day, it is just object 1 doing damage to object 2, right? But elemental is themed and indicates it's doing it through water or fire or earth or whatever. But then also class-based is not, right? It's no longer a Taion type or whatever, the type of a Taion. No, it's class-based all of a sudden. And so that's, it's small stuff, it's inconsistencies, but it's stuff that I'm not sure if a normal player would see it, but it's definitely stuff that I see, and I'm like, I don't know if I would have done it that way. Each Ataion is unique in its appearance, battle style, and temperaments. Okay, making use of strategic combination of Ataion with different abilities can make for a party that is able to brave the danger of entering into the spiritual battle with wild Ataion. Okay, learning to use actions move to change your Ataion's positioning, and rest to regain health and mana in a pinch are the necessary skills you must develop to lead your Ataion to victory. Okay, one more, guys, one more. Ataion all have different abilities, types, strengths, and weaknesses, okay? Statistics such as health, mana, elemental, and class attacks and defense, intelligence, and wisdom will all affect how the Ataion battles. Health determines how much damage an Ataion can sustain before its spirit vanishes from the battlefield. Mana dictates how much power the Ataion has remaining to use its actions. EA and ED determines the strength of and resistance against elemental attacks, and CA and CD and DO... Oh, no, wait, no, and CA and CD do the same for class attacks. Okay, thank you. Wiz is a measure... Oh, okay. Slight note, when writing text like this, use the little apostrophes on either end when you're naming a certain... when English is not your main language, to note that, you're putting extra emphasis on a word that is not a word that should just be read. It's a word that it's like, contextually it's in a different context than what the sentence is. Anyway, Wiz, standing for wisdom, I presume, is a measure of how many unique actions the Ataion is able to know at a given time. Int affects chance-based conditions such as secondary effects and weather conditions. Okay. Now, it's notepad time, because what just happened, the game just explained the game to me. Let me take a sip real quick, because my voice is getting dry. So, what do I mean with this? The game just told me what the monsters are called. Not a bad thing, that's okay. I would have liked it in a different way. I would have liked a player, like an NPC, to tell me what it's called. Not the game itself, but whatever. That's a nitpicky thing. And then the game decided to tell me the exact core loop flow through the use of text. Now, this is a big cardinal sin. The main thing that I've learned in my education and also afterwards, play, don't tell. In movies, they mention show, don't tell. And with movies, if you have like these screens in between that tell you like, I don't know, in a world named Gingplork or whatever, this and this is happening, and then you see some action scenes of like these two monsters fighting each other or whatever, something like that. Don't quote me on my movie concepting skills. And like that is one thing, right? Because the trailer is trying to tell you a lot about the world you're in, like from the get-go, and that's less of a cardinal sin, because especially with new franchises, it's really hard to pull the attention in from someone. But even there, show, don't tell. When it's with games, an interactive medium, like a fundamentally interactive medium, play, don't tell. Please don't tell me how to play the game. Just let me play the game. I am currently, I don't know if anyone's been timing it, but I've spent, 10 minutes playing this game, something of the kind. I have not yet played the game. The core of this game is not talking to NPCs, breaking rocks in front of labs, old labs, and then reading a bunch of text. That's not the core of this game, I hope. I hope that's not the core of this game. The core of this game, as per the Steam description, is a monster hunting, battling, RPG-ish kind of thing. That is the core of this game. Oh, there's a gun here. Wish I could take that. Don't put things into player space that the player thinks they can take. Because they can't. At the very minimum, put like a glass case over it so people know they can't take it. It saves a whole lot of disappointment. I have not yet played the game. I also have no idea where I'm supposed to go now, by the way. Oh, do I need to talk to the guy again? Thanks. Yeah, I should become a movie writer now. Oh wow, you actually did it. I wonder what's been. Hi, yeah, I've been there. I have no idea what you want from me. Maybe in here? Maybe this is where I need to go. Oh, I found a blueberry. Okay, now this is the blueberry that I need to make that DNA. Okay. There you go. There you go, a Cloman. Oh. Guess I don't get to admire my Cloman. What? Oh, man. It's a shame, because the game looks really nice. I have a monster now, I think. Yeah, a Cloman. DNA of every known species of a Taion has been cataloged within the laboratory at the center of Akama. When identified, this DNA has the potential to bring about the spirit of the creature it comes from. Okay, so how do I now make the creature? Do I make the creature? Oh, here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Level 3. Swap. Oh, hey! Nice! Okay. Level 3. HP 292. Wow. Wait. What? HP 292. HP 13. EA. Elemental Attack 34. ED. Elemental Defense 16. In. Was it supposed to be int? I think it was supposed to be int. 31. Wi, which I think was supposed to be whiz, is 1. CA, class attack, 37. CD, class defense, 19. Okay. Cloman are highly volatile creatures with no base element. Due to this, their genetic makeup is unstable and rapidly changes. Cloman seem to undergo a fusion type change for every known elemental type, something unique to just this species. This makes them highly adaptable but also highly erratic in their nature. Okay. Okay, now, I think, unless I need to go in here, this looks interesting. Hello, who are you? Ugh, please quiet down a little, I'm still recovering from my last big bender. Man, it was fun. It was a fun time, well worth the headache, but really, OP. What? Oh, Christ. Okay, goodbye. Okay, that was pointless. I'm gonna see if that force field has opened up by now. Unless I need to go to the blacksmith. Do we need to go to the blacksmith? As soon as I talked to him before, there's still a little... You want an axe now, you say? I do? Oh, okay. Okay, bring me, let's say, 15 short rocks and 5 berries, and I'll make you an axe. The berries are for lunch. I get hungry when I work. Okay, there's also no section where I can track... Oh, shit. What? No, there's no section where I can track my quests. No, it just opens up the Cloman automatically. Okay. Can I... Yeah, okay. How much... Okay, I've got 4 now, and I need a 15? Okay, I'm just trying to see where it goes. Like, at what point I'm allowed to play the game. That's kind of the thing that I'm waiting for here. Right, I've got 8 now. Where's some more rocks? Give me some more rocks. I have the berries, I know that. I know, if not, I have some more over there. Also, I only seem to be allowed to mine the rocks from the top, not from the... Oh, no, from the bottom as well. Okay. The menu is too big, isn't it? It should not be full screen. There we go. Got those berries. Okay, I've got plenty of berries. I just need 1 more stone. Okay. Bunk. Okay, good enough. Let me get out of here. Okay. The menu is too... Like, the menu should have been... there definitely should have been, like a fair border coming out from it. Like, still showing the game in the background. Especially because full menus is pretty old school. Which, unless intended, which I doubt, not a great way to go. Yep, I've brought you... Complete the quest. Yes, okay. Thank you for the stone and my lunch. Ranberries on toast are the best. Here, a brand new axe for you. Just press E to cycle between different types of tools and use O, just like with the pick, to swing your axe at some trees. Okie dokie. Is that still the quest? Back for more, eh? Okay. What about a fishing rod? Find me... Okay. Okay. 10 logs, he said? Oh, that doesn't look like logs. That's sticks and shit. Okay. I've got some of that. Give me logs. 5 logs. Total 6 logs in total. 7 logs. Come on. Come on, more logs. I'm gonna chop this tree down, buddy. Sorry. Watch your head as I take this tree down. Okay, cool. That was 10. Alright. Then I'm gonna get a fishing rod, which will complete my tool belt. I think. And then I hope. BP big time. Hell yeah. Bandora wears hats. Hey, thanks, Tom. I wish I wore a hat today. Okay. It's great. Relaxing. Yeah, okay. Wait, no, but I've completed the quest. How many logs? Tell me 10 branches. Oh. Fuck's sake. Okay. Alright. We're looking at this game called Monster Tribe, and collecting some information here. Tom, actually, you are the perfect person for this, seeing as you're Tarantino himself. What do you think about the statement of show, don't tell? And equally in games, play, don't tell. Because this game, it has a real knack in not doing that, in telling me everything and not letting me do anything. Yep. Oh my god. I have collected the branches. 10 branches. Oh, and 5 glowing maple logs. What? What the fuck is a glowing maple log? I've cut down trees, haven't I? Can I view my inventory anywhere? Apparently not. What's this? Maple syrup. Is there an inventory somewhere else? Save and quit? Almost. We're almost there. This is the Cloman. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There's my inventory. 11 branches. Oh, ash logs. What? There's different logs? Which one is the glowing type? Oh, thanks for those random articles. Whatever that is. Crystallized essence. Crystallized essence. Okay, I don't know what that does. Probably it's for making different types of monsters, I reckon. But so this is not... Nope, this is just the same type of ash log instead of glowing ones. Can I go somewhere to find glowing logs? Oh, the tree's regrown. Nice. That was a nice little touch, but... no. Okay, Nope, I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, okay, that's this game. So, back to the notepad. Please let me play the game and don't tell me. And I suppose this was supposed to be like onboarding, right? So it's supposed to be like onboard me into the game and give me the access and stuff like that. But I've been playing for 15 minutes now and I haven't played the actual game yet. When you're doing onboarding, the original Pokemon games did this very well, where you got a little bit of information from Professor Oak, that's his name, I think, about like catching monsters and stuff, and then you went outside the house. He asked you to go pick up like some serum, I think, something like that. Everybody's constantly squatting. They man, never skip leg day. But he asked you to go get like a serum or like some healing stuff, and the only way to do that is in the next city, in the next village, for which you have to go through the wilderness, in which you will most certainly run into a Rattata. Thanks. It's been a very long time. Okay, I stopped after Fire Red. Red Fire? What was it? God, I'm getting old. Yeah. So, you know, in that way, Pokemon allowed me to instantly, or well, near instantly, within 5 minutes, to play the game, right? Because you can't fight the Ratata because it kills you instantly, it knocks you out. Oh, right, okay. Alright, well, even better then. Even better then. It further reinforces my example here. You fight your opponent, which teaches you the game automatically, without even telling you what to do. And then I think after that you go get the serum, and then you get attacked by the Ratata. I know at some point you get attacked by a Ratata, okay? I know that's the case. It must be, unless I'm remembering my childhood wrong, and that might also be the case. I'm not sure. Anyway, so make sure that when you want to onboard your player, to do this within 2 minutes. There are some exceptions here. Stuff like 4X games, can increase that to 5 minutes, 10 maybe. But at the very minimum, within that time, I need to understand the very core loop, what I'm supposed to do, and what the game is about. No, scrap that. I just need to know what I need to do. I don't care about the story in the very first minute. Unless I'm playing some kind of like AAA title, or a very, very well polished indie title, of which I know that I'm going to be interested in the story. That is the only moment where you can lore dump me like that. If I'm not sure yet, because imagine this, right? I'm gonna here. Yeah, we're gonna make this. We're gonna make this a demo. So I'll save and quit, whatever. Yeah, sure. I have now quit the game, right? Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. If I now go onto Steam, and I go into my library, and I go find, what was it called again? Monster Tribe demo. I have played, yeah, it's fine. I have played 34 minutes. Now, Steam is relatively generous with their return policy. If the game is under 2 hours, if you played under 2 hours, and you decide to return it within 14 days after purchase, you get that chance. That's fine. There's basically no questions asked, right? And there's even examples where that happens outside the 2 hour window and still no questions asked. Okay? I've played 34 minutes, 34 painstaking minutes. If I paid, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 euros for this, or dollars or whatever currency you pay in, I can just return it. And it's not because I didn't like the game, because I thought it looked really nice. I thought it did look really nice. But I haven't played the game yet. In 34 minutes of playing, I haven't played the game yet. I have done 0 monster fighting. All the way towards the end, I found out about the very first monster, a Cloman, which looked really cool. But then I wasn't allowed to use it. I was supposed to first gather logs and stuff for like a fishing rod and an axe. I hope people see, if you're watching this live or watching this on the video, I hope you understand that I'm not coming from a perspective of, okay, this game is terrible and like, you know, people should stop developing it, because that's not it at all, because I want people to succeed. But I'm hoping that if the developer sees this, hi, by the way, I hope that my feedback helps you perfect the game even further, to the point where you won't suffer from people returning this within their 2 hour window, and thus it basically come out of your pocket, and then there's just possibly landing you with very little sales, or very little sales that actually turn into revenue because the companies don't get returned. That's what I'm hoping that people take out of this. On top of that, also, this. Don't explain all the controls beforehand unless it's really just for your demo. Otherwise, do it through natural means. You know, that kind of stuff. Also, let me quickly look at this. Let me tell you about the story of the land of Eshgard. In the beginning, there was the sky and the earth, and it was good. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson comes in and sings a song about coconuts or something. Yeah, I play that. Totally. I feel on this one. Yeah, it's a shame, because I really want to like this game. Because there being 50 monsters or so, that sounds incredible. That sounds really, really cool. But then let me meet those monsters. Let me play with that. If you don't trigger the core loop until hours later, nobody can return the game. 500 IQ. Yeah, I suppose that is the way to go. But yeah, no, so yeah, make sure that when you explain your controls, do it naturally throughout the interaction with the mechanics, instead of just telling me. When giving quests to players, please explicitly mark when the quest starts, like say like quest accepted or something like that, and when it ends, namely quest completed. And most importantly, because I didn't have that just now, give me a menu option where I can see, um, yeah, sure, where I can see which quests I have active. Now, I am not the most organized person, even though I am a producer. I'm supposed to be, but I will forget what I'm doing very quickly. You know, yeah. Even the first 30 minutes in, I was like, oh yeah, what do I have to do again? And I just forget. So please give me a screen where I can see that, where I can keep track of that. If it's like within my gameplay screen whilst I'm running around, even better. Just don't make it super obnoxious. Make sure that when your NPCs are speaking through text bubbles that they don't break the fourth wall, because it feels weird. Just like an actor speaking to you through the screen. Doesn't feel nice unless you're Ryan Reynolds. Too much exposition at the start of the game, a lore dump can put off many players. I kept playing because obviously I wanted to provide more feedback. But if this was just me and I wasn't doing it on a live stream, I would have gone away already. So, I would have returned already. Yeah, and don't allow the game to explain the game to me. Don't do that. Allow me to play, and don't tell me. Same with movies, show don't tell. With games, play don't tell. Yeah, and then like we've already discussed in chat as well, make sure that you explain the core of your game at the very minimum, or at the very maximum, within 2 minutes, preferably even earlier, right, if you can. And I'm not talking, because I can hear the comments already, I'm not talking about when you're still in the menu, and the people are going to be like, well, you can't like do that if like people stay 2 minutes in the menu, of course. I'm talking as soon as someone starts presses play, and dives into the game, and the game starts, right? Within 2 minutes after that, make sure the player plays the game. Yeah, unless you're some AAA title and you can afford to keep people on a 5-minute cutscene or whatever. And even then, that's okay, because the cutscene gives me a lot of information, and allows me to get to know the world without having to read stuff myself, right? If it's a cutscene, it's a video, I can watch it. I don't have to do much of it myself, so, that's a different thing. Anyway, that's that game. I've got about half an hour left. If anyone in the chat has a game they'd like me to play, please say so. Please link me to GameJolt or itch.io or Steam where I can download the demo. I'll happily play your game. If not, I'm going to save this because I want to send this to the developer, because I do think that's important. What do I call this? No, I shouldn't download it in this one. No, I should just make a new folder called Monster Tribe Demo. I like the name Monster Tribe. I think it's good for like a Pokemon type game. I like it. It's nice. Oh, right. Oh, so links are blocked in chat. Hold on. I'll fix that. Give me 2 seconds. Monster Tribe. Feedback. There we go. Yeah, links are blocked in chat. Let me see how I fix that real quick. Oh God. I need to make sure that I... where is it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I have turned it off. Try posting the link again. Then I'll be able to see it. I think. I like to think that's the case. Nope, still blocked. Okay. Can you message me on Twitch? Can you do that? Because that'll definitely come through. For me. In the meantime, let me block hyperlinks again. I am not about to get a bunch of links that I don't like. Let me see. Can I? Maybe I can message you actually. I think I can. Yeah. Hey, dude. Yeah, there we go. Nice. We did it. All right, Newsgrounds link. Nice. Oh man, this is some. This is definitely for the people that are older. Newgrounds. My favorite. Okay. Nice. I like this game already. Christopher. Hell yeah. The longing for home. Christopher plans his escape. What becomes of the little duck's fate? Okay. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Oh yeah, Flash games, yeah. So okay, so again, here's another thing. Your game doesn't need to be super flashy. Nice, got him. In order to be good, right? These games can absolutely be amazing. I remember some of my childhood memories being on sites like Newgrounds, playing some of the dopest Flash games. Okay, Royal Duck Runaway. Okay. Is there a way? I'm not very familiar with. No, okay, it's fine. Right. Royal Duck Runaway. Alright, play. Once upon a time, there was a duck named Christopher. That's me. He joined a tour to visit the castle over yonder. Okay. Losing his way as he wanders around, the rest of the group was not to be found. Nice rhyming. Stumbling upon some noble feat, Christopher's in for some mistreat. 'Twas the prince of the castle who wanted another vassal. Days and weeks passed by the prince's side. How Christopher longed to go outside. Longing for home, he plans his escape. What becomes of the little duck's fate? Ah, Christopher's sad. Aw, it's so sad. Yeah, I like this. The music is nice. The font is readable but fitting thematically. The pictures, very nice. Very nice. Okay, but now it's about gameplay, right? The Prince's Chamber. Oh, I think I know what kind of game this is. Okay, let's go find Christopher, shall we? Prince George the 8th. Oh, I collected a towel. Hey, there's a button there. Oh, I remember these types of games. These types of games are interesting. I've got 3 towels. Okay. I'm presuming my goal is to find Christopher. I'm presuming that is the case. I need to find a key. Can I open these drawers? No. Oh! Hey, there's a rock and a stick. What do I do with this rock and stick? He's supposed to be holding something. Okay. Can I use the rock on the face, perhaps? Let's see what else is there. Oh, this is the... Oh, right, we're in the prince's chamber. Right, okay. Right, so this is the bathroom. Oh, there we go. Fill up a bathtub. Oh, there's a rubber ducky. Hello. Okay. I feel like I could have put the ducky there. I need to escape. I feel like I should be able to take out the knight or something. It is a lot of clicking. Like, one of the things I am doing is I'm clicking a lot, right? I am definitely trying here, and I'm trying a lot of different things. What do I do here? What do I do? Beam, yeah. Party or DNA, whoa! That'd be kind of funny. Yeah, okay. Beam was excellent. I loved Beam. Beam was great. Oh, nice. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. I like that. It's nice for a demo. I like that. It's nice. I'm thinking what I do with the towels. Because I'm supposed to open this chest. I know that. That makes sense. But it's just a matter of finding out how to do that. I feel like I need to make this thing fall onto the chest and then the chest breaks open or something. That is kind of what I'm thinking. But for that, I need to make that happen. Can't combine items. Okay, alright. Give him a rock. No. Okay. Something I can do with the books, maybe. Nothing with the globe. The globe broke. I know that. Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. What do I do here? I feel like the crown is important. But I'm not exactly sure how. I feel like some. Oh. Nice. Hey, nice! I figured it out. The prince isn't happy without his royal duck. Oh. Prince isn't happy without his royal duck. So we could give the duckling, right? Yeah, I know, I do that. Because I feel like maybe like I just didn't hit the collision correctly, right? That's kind of like my worry then in my head where I'm like, okay, maybe I'm being unfair because I'm not given, I'm not taking the right, I'm not clicking the right area. So the princess is unhappy without his royal duck. So, yeah. Yeah, see, there we go. Okay, nice. And then, here we go. Bunk, bunk. And then we've got X, I think. Is that what happens? Can I take out the X? Is that a thing? So, gate is on the picture frame. It's a good thing to gate it, I think. Maybe there's something you can build into it where after a few tries, like if someone tries to do it like 5 or 6 times, then you're like, okay, let's just skip by this part and then, you know, unlock it already kind of thing. That's something you could do. I don't appear to be able to take the axe, so I'll presume I can't. That's what I'm presuming. But then the question becomes, okay, what do I do? Because I have... Oh, hey. Oh, no, they're okay. Slight note. I can't see the towels in the reflection in the mirror. Very, very small thing, but just a heads up. No, it definitely does not appear I can pick up the axe. He's happy, though. The prince is happy again. Okay, so I won't be able to pick up the axe. Okay, fair enough. Oh, whoops, I accidentally clicked that. Or the axe could, of course, fall on top of the chest and break it open. Maybe. No. I feel like the answer is in this room. Also, just a side note, really great job on keeping the scope small. That looks really, really good. So if you're going to toilet flush already, so spoiler, I guess, not to waste time. Good comments on hip being too small. Gotcha. Toilet flushing. Okay. Toilet flushing. Flush the toilet. There we go. Nice. We got a string now. Okay. What do I use the string for? Oh, to bind these two together. Nice. Nice. Got him. Yep. Very nice. Good job. Very clever. Now, the question is whether I use the axe for if I... if I don't use it for this, I need to break something else apart. No, definitely need the key for that. I'm just clicking a little bit frequently here. No, okay. What would I do with an axe here? What would I do with an axe? Oh, ah! Nice, okay. Alright. So, yeah, there you go. Oh, hello. Thank you for playing this demo. We hope you had a lot of fun and look forward to your feedback. Yeah, okay. I have some notes. I like this quite a bit. One thing you've done really well is keep the scope nice and small, or at least nice and contained. You know what you're making, which is really, really good. So props on that. I think if the hitbox on the toilet string, like the toilet flushing string, wouldn't have been as small, or maybe like more extended along the entire string instead of just the pulley bit. I think at that point you would have probably had me all the way along, right? I think at that point I would have figured everything else out myself, right? On top of that, you have nice music. Your art style is consistent. What I do as a player is consistent. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah. Oh man, there's a sword there. Yeah, no, this is really solid. Yeah, this is really solid. What are the people saying about it? Yeah. Yeah. Is your purpose... We'll dive into that now for the last few minutes. We want to make this into a full game. Yeah, I definitely recommend so. I think you've got something really nice and contained here. You were sticking well within the genre that you've chosen. And I think this is a good game. As far as subjectivity and objectivity go together in that sense, I think this is a good game. I like it. I think it's nice. I am just wondering, but that requires a little bit of research on Steam. Off we go to the store. Escape room. Okay, there's a few. And most of these are 3D, which is or VR games. We're not going to count VR games for this purpose. Some Samsara Room is research bits. Is that on Steam? I haven't heard of the title before. Samsara Room, yes it is. Okay. Let's have a look at this. I hate this trailer, but again, a whole nother video. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I hate the trailer. Everything up until the 19-second mark. A little later. The 20-second mark. From that point, it gets interesting, which 20 seconds is way too long, but hey, you know, can't get everything right. Yeah. So, 6.5k reviews. I believe the formula from the top of my head is that roughly 30% leaves a review after buying it. Is this free though? Oh, this is free. Okay, so it's not entirely correct. Okay. In that case, we won't do the math. But that means roughly some 40,000 people have played it. Are you planning to make a game free, or are you trying to, or are you going to sell it? Just from a business perspective. Yeah, 30% is quite a bit. Steam has a pretty good system for that, for money to review stuff. No, it is pretty high, but it's higher for free-to-play games than it is for games that are bought, which is interesting because you'd expect it the other way around. Yep, free game, then yeah, you are well on your way to making something as good or maybe even better than Samsara Room. I can't really judge that because I haven't played Samsara Room, but you've got a really nice game. You do. Down to the point where I'm leaving the music on because it's nice music. It's very nice. Who made it? Audio credit. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's Cafe Musette. Great job for making this track, and great job for you guys from Toothpick Studio, including it. It really sets a nice tone and a nice theme for this game. You've done really well. I wouldn't have guessed that this would have been this good. Sorry. You've no idea how big this one is right now. I'm really happy that's the case. Yeah, no, good work deserves praise. It's as simple as it is. And I'll be really honest with you. I was slightly judging it at the start because I was like, oh, Newgrounds, Flash game. I wonder how good this is going to be. But you have very pleasantly surprised me. Yeah, as the start of your game development career, I think this is a very ideal start to start from. I'm sure there have been many consoles before this. I'm sure there must have been. But this is a good start. Great job. Honestly, great job. That's good to hear. Okay, so are there any questions or any like Q&A stuff or just general stuff you guys want me to know or look at or anything of the kind? Is there stuff like that? I am going to uninstall Monster Tribe because taking up space is a no-no. Where is it, Monster Tribe? Feel free to ask away right now because then I can answer some questions before we stop. Properties. No, that's not how I do this. I just go here, manage, uninstall. There we go. One question, please. If you need to get an answer, if you had to choose party or DNA, I think I'll pick party every time. I'm a party kind of guy. I'm not, but I'm a party kind of guy. It was really, really obnoxious. Pressing interact on something and I just boom, menu screen. That is really, really bad. Or well, no, sorry. Allow me to rephrase that because it needs to be constructive. It is very jarring, and so with that in mind, people should take a look at that and kind of figure out, okay, maybe we should either make it smaller, or make it fade in, or make it unfold like some kind of animation or something. Then again, it is a demo, so rough around the edges is okay. But there needs to be some kind of context there before I maybe press interact on that big totem thing. Maybe tell me what it is, right? Like DNA complexer, DNA sequencer. We'll make it. We'll do some plot armor, and we'll say nano DNA sequencer or something like that. Then at the very minimum, I know something's going to open up, right? Yeah, something of that kind. I definitely recommend that. Okay. If there is no more questions, I first off want to say thank you to Mr. BaconX, SuchiDev, Asa22N1, and Putriz for following. You guys are awesome. Thank you for sticking by me for the last bit. I'll be back again in roughly 2 weeks. Don't stick me to that. With another video topic thing that we're going to talk about. I'll quickly pull up the topic list so you guys can have a look at it. So you guys can tell me what you might like to see. Oh, thanks for that follow, Sanivek. Thank you very much. So, if we look at this topic list, right? And I'm just gonna... Actually, I'm gonna... Yeah, I'll do it like that, and then I'll do... Can I do that? I can't. Damn it. I was hoping... Oh, yeah, I can. Nice. Excellent. You can see the Google Sheet totally expected me to zoom in 200%. Okay, so I have a bunch of hypotheses and I have a large amount of topics. From the let's do the game development section, shall we? Because we've done game design today. From the game development section, I've got a few. Explaining what engines to pick based on the type of project you're making and the type of person you are. How to get good player feedback. That's kind of like building on the one from today. Explaining how hiding your game and not acknowledging that you're making something that will suck is holding you back. Again, kind of builds on the one from today. Explaining how feature creep causes you to never finish a game. That's maybe a good one. Explaining how making a living as a solo dev can be incredibly hard. Explaining how to make sure you do not spend too much time on a potentially bad concept. Again, building on today. Explaining how you can save yourself a lot of time by using free asset packs. Oh, that's a big one. I like that one. That's nice. Show you guys how you can learn a lot of technical and practical skills by releasing small games quickly. And I'm going to use the example of a 13-year-old designer that I came across a few weeks ago. They posted on Reddit that they made a few games and they mentioned their age, presuming that they say who they say they are and that they're actually 13. On that basis, assuming that is true, I want to go through that. I want to kind of showcase the games that this person made because they were really good. They were really, really good. Which one do you guys want me to do? Which topic? Or maybe like a different topic that you have in your head right now, where you're like, please, Chris, do this topic. I'll do that. I'm not fussed. I've got a long list of topics I want to go through. So I'll be here for a while. So please, for anyone still watching, pick a topic or tell me something you want to learn. Or just say random, and then I'll pick a random topic and we'll do that next week. No, 2 weeks from now. Is it 2 weeks from now? It is 2 weeks from now. I might do next week. Depends on what mood I'm in. Okay. Yeah. Wait. I'm gonna do something dangerous. I like explaining how no one important is going to steal your game ideas and that execution is what matters. I think I have that idea on this on that topic actually. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh yeah, see. Oh, you guys just. Oh yeah, okay, excellent, great. You guys are awesome. What I'm quickly gonna do is, and I'll leave this completely optional. Oh, what the hell? Whoa, nice. Okay, all right. I'll leave this completely optional for people. I'll make a quick Discord server where you can just see me there. Hit and use copy button. Oh, nice. And you can ask me questions about game design, game development, anything of the kind, or just suggest, hey, try this topic next, or I have a question about the thing you mentioned here and here at this timestamp, just like that, because I feel like 2 weeks between streams is good, or 1 week between streams is good, but I know that questions can pop up at any moment, and so I kind of want to give that opportunity for you guys to just ask stuff as you want. But again, completely your choice, not forcing you. I'll post a link in the chat, and then and I'll also upload it on. Whoa, that's me. I'll also upload it on the Twitch page down here, but I haven't done that yet. So, that is as it is. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching. I'm gonna go back to this screen. I want to thank everyone for watching. You are mega appreciated. And this was the first stream in this context with these kinds of topics and things to talk about. You were awesome. I had a great time. Let's play some more games next time. Let's talk about some more topics next time. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. If it's Sunday for you, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. If it's already Monday for you, then I hope you have a great rest of the week. Lovely. Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see each other sometime soon.